To the United States now, where another government shutdown is looming. Democrats and Republicans have until Friday to reach a deal on security at the southern border. The last shutdown lasted 35 days, a record in the US, and it reportedly cost the economy $11 billion. President Trump wants $5 billion to build a wall along the border with Mexico, but Democrats say that would simply be ineffective, expensive and even immoral. Well, meanwhile, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar has announced her bid to run for president in 2020. There are now a record 5 women running in the Democratic primary. Klobuchar of Minnesota easily won a third term last year. She managed to flip 43 counties that voted for Trump in 2016 over to her side in the midterms. She is the most high-profile Midwesterner in the race as well. Other Democratic candidates include Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Tulsi Gabbard and Kirsten Gillibrand. Well, to talk more about the role of women in US politics, I'm joined by Christine Sierra. She's a professor of political science at the University of New Mexico. Thank you very much for joining us on France 24 tonight. Great to have you with us. Now, not only do you have a record number of female candidates running in the Democratic primary, you also have a record number of women in Congress. How do you explain that?
Well, it has been a long time coming. Even though there was so much attention on the mobilization after the 2016 election and the disappointment of many that Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, that's just one factor that really mobilized people to come out and vote in 2018. Women have been, over years, incrementally increasing their numbers in the Congress, especially slowly but surely in the Senate, the House, state legislatures, and local governments. So this is essentially a groundswell that probably was accelerated a bit by Donald Trump's presidency and women especially perceiving him in very negative terms. So it is a groundswell and a natural, I think, organic lifting up of women to contend for the presidency.
So do you think a lot of women were encouraged to throw their hat in the ring as a reaction to Donald Trump?
Somewhat. We've heard individual candidates at all levels of government say that they were definitely pushed to seek office because they wanted to get something done. They were very much interested in pushing certain policies and issues. But at the same time, many of them voiced their opposition to Donald Trump and saying we've got to change things. So it wasn't just an anti-Trump mobilization. It was broader than that. But certainly it played a part.
Now, women aside for the moment, although Nancy Pelosi is the most high-profile Democrat involved in this, of course, there is a very real possibility of another government shutdown just around the corner if Democrats and Donald Trump can't find a compromise on immigration. I was just wondering, given that you are in New Mexico, what is your take on this whole standoff?
Well, first thing is, it's very unfortunate that we've gotten to this loggerhead, and a lot of people across our country are going to be hurt again if there is a government shutdown. It is, I think, important to note that the Congress, members of Congress, have forged together a bipartisan coalition to try to work out a deal. The wild card in all of this is what President Trump will accept. And the Senate Majority Leader hasn't helped, Mitch McConnell hasn't helped in really saying for a long time now that he would only carry forward legislation or a vote in the Senate if he knew that President Trump would sign a bill. So we've got 2 major issues here that the Congress itself cannot, the larger body cannot control. They are doing their job in trying to come up with a negotiated compromise and a bill, which in the past they have been able to. They have been able to strike some compromises on immigration, but this impasse right now is very unfortunate for our country.
All right, Christine Sierra, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much.